And they're off. Royal Max was charging at the tapes as they were released, and along with Lieutenant Miller in the headgear for the first time, and Herschel is heading towards the first, which they're all over. Dark Energy towards the back of the field with Benoit. To Charlie, the grey is settled in about fifth place behind Mumbles Pier at this stage. Mohanad is another to be holding a midfield position as they head on towards the second, at which Herschel will just be the leader from Lieutenant Miller. They're all over safely. Coda Agency just being niggled along at the rear of the field, just taking a while to warm to the task, if that's possible in these conditions, as they are last of all with company with Dark Energy. So it's Herschel who leads by a couple of lengths from Lieutenant Miller. Mumbles Pier is handy in third. Royal Max, who jumped off prominently, is just sifted back through the field to share fourth place with Mohanad and Tashali, the grey, towards the inside at this point in proceedings. Cool Strike is settled in about 7th or 8th as they head towards the cross flight with Halling-Gal. So over the third, and the leader Herschel saw a better stride than Lieutenant Miller, who paddled his way through it in second place. Coda Agency's riders just slapping the horse down the neck, just trying to keep him interested early on, as they do begin to string out, and Herschel is setting a pretty brisk pace here, so turning back towards home for the first time. It's Herschel who leads from Lieutenant Miller in second, whose rider just had a glance to see how far clear they were of the field. They'll find Mumbles Pier is racing in third place, just ahead of Mohanad as they approach the first up the home straight. To Charlie from Cool Strike, and Royal Max, who just continues to drift back in the field, is now in mid-division ahead of Halling-Gal, then Dark Energy, and last of all is Coda Agency. Herschel nimble over that. Combination of Mohanad and Cool Strike were the ones that flattened the flight, and still Coda Agency being humoured at the back of the field. Herschel in the beige colours leads Lieutenant Miller, white and red, red, white and green of Mumbles Pier. Blue colours, Cool Strike travelling well on the outside of Mohanad in the green. Then Royal Max towards the outer, red, white and blue of Halling-Gal. To Charlie just being niggled along. Then behind these we have the pale blue and red of Benoit, and the last two Dark Energy. And the red and yellow of Coda Agency, for the first time, has got back past a horse since coming off the bridle and losing the position down the back straight. So turning out onto their final circuit, without in front Herschel leading. Mumbles Pier has moved through into second as the pace has just steadied and the leaders begin to bunch up. Lieutenant Miller now being joined by, amongst others, Mohanad as they do pack up in midfield. Royal Max is another who's involved in that little cluster with Cool Strike. To Charlie right on their heels with Benoit, and literally about 3 lengths would cover the first 8 or 9. Dark Energy and Coda Agency once again has dropped back to the rear of the field. So out in front, Mumbles Pier is the latest one to put it to Herschel, but Herschel jumped that much better than Mumbles Pier, who made a mistake, and there was an error in rear from Coda Agency, whose task now looks pretty forlorn. So Herschel with Mumbles Pier closing again on the approach towards the next. Lieutenant Miller in third from Mohanad. To Charlie on the inside of Benoit, who's trying to improve. Cool Strike has lost the position notably, as indeed has Royal Max. Then Halling-Gal, and Coda Agency, I think, was pulled up before that flight of hurdles, so they have a long run towards the third last. Herschel continuing to lead from Lieutenant Miller. Mohanad moving threateningly now to join the leaders into third place and shortly to take second. Mumbles Pier is being ridden along. Dark Energy's made significant progress to move through into fifth. Then Benoit, a gap back to Cool Strike, who's trying to rally but has work on, as indeed does Tashali. Royal Max still towards the rear of the field as well with Halling-Gal, but Mohanad is moving through quite early to come and take the lead 3 from home. Mohanad over from Herschel. Back in third is Dark Energy. In fourth is Mumbles Pier. Benoit is staying on into 5th place ahead of the weakening Lieutenant Miller. So Mohanad has committed and gone for home for Mark Goldstein, established a 3-length advantage from Dark Energy, who's trying to chase down the leader. Mumbles Pier is in third place, then long-time leader Herschel and Benoit, so turning back towards home, and it's Mohanad now being ridden along from Dark Energy in second place, just being kept up to the work and trying to close. Mohanad at the second last has a lead of about 2 lengths. Dark Energy's in second, Mumbles Pier over third from Benoit, who continues to stay on. Mohanad is out in front, but just losing concentration slightly. Dark Energy's trying to conjure up a challenge, but will still be about a length down at the last, which Mohanad takes well and may need to. Dark Energy in second place is gradually trying to edge closer, but Mohanad, I think, is probably idling as much as anything else out in front, and kept up to his work is going to complete doubles for Mark Goldstein and Sheena West and score for Heart of the South Racing. Mohanad beats Dark Energy. Mumbles Pier was third. Benoit, a Cool Strike lost his position, then ran on again late for fifth, had a long-time leader Herschel in sixth.
Mohanad wins by 4.5 lengths. The 7-2 joint favourite beat Dark Energy at 10-1, and Mumbles Pier at 7-1 was third. Cool Strike, the other joint favourite, finished in fifth. double on the card. Mohanad was coming back to winning over hurdles for the first time in 2 years, but he's been in tremendous form recently on the flat. He finished 5th in the Cesarevic trial last time out at Newmarket, and he wins this quite comprehensively.